Yeah, it's 55. Let's see, where did I do my sheet? I did make a new sheet. Yeah. I've been slowly getting bids and stuff, so. Rough bids.
I mean, I don't mind spending some money on the office part, but as far as the bay part, I just soon shut them down.
Okay.
I mean, now, if there's humidity issues in that cooler or something, we're gonna have to do something.
I
there,
have
but-
not seen anything since we've done the gutter work on the backside, or I have not seen, and West has come back out there and regraded that. I've not seen the water come back in back there yet.
And whether you guys want to get into each individual building now, we usually just set out so much money and then what Greg prioritized and what needs to be done, and then come back to us when we discuss the sales tax part.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't, like, 2 years ago, we did the courthouse, sealing the courthouse, which is great. That's starting the right direction, get these buildings back up to shape. This year, we really didn't do much because we were also looking at doing redoing the old jail, which would have incorporated some of the projects that we need
Yeah.
to do for there.
So I wanna just talk about one. I mean, the rest of it's pretty self-explanatory, but I got your email this morning,
Yeah,
upgrading windows on the courthouse.
yep, that's a rough bid.
So all those windows have to come out and be redone?
Yep.
God.
You got the note about installed wall?
Yeah.
Glass, everything. And I also sent you a copy.
Who installed those?
I don't know.
Okay.
That was, best they can
Is
tell
that in
was
the 80s?
mid-70s.
Okay.
I mean, is that, I mean, not that I don't trust Dave Myers with Brady's or
I
whatever.
walked around with him and I walked around with Paul and we took some of the windows, not all the way apart, but we took them apart and they're installed wrong. After you get above the second floor, some on the second floor installed wrong, but after you get up to the third floor and fourth floor, they flipped the whole frame, set them from the inside, which they should have been set from the outside. So now all the water's running inside
Oh,
for all these years. Yeah,
Oh, Lord. Oh, I didn't see what the bottom number was on there. Did they have that on there?
it's on the second email I sent you out.
Yeah, I didn't read that yet, so.
Yeah, I didn't read it. So should we be sitting down when we read
Yeah,
that, Greg?
yep, that's it right there. Number one.
So we should be sitting down when we read that?
Oh, yeah.
What you're saying?
741,000.
For what?
The windows.
That's 99. That's 99
Oh, that's
units.
what he had on here, 775,000.
Ow! I didn't look at that.
I just got it and sent it out to you guys.
Is there a, I mean, I know this is,
I don't know where to start or where to stop.
I mean, is there a way to go back after somebody for doing something wrong like that?
40 years.
I mean, it's,
Shame on
I
us
think
for
there's
not
some kind of
knowing.
statute limitations on that, probably.
well, but, I mean, surely,
In the 70s.
yeah, I mean, I don't know that you could do it.
That's what
but
I was
mean,
asking, too.
You know, I mean, there's a contractor that was probably overseeing the project, and then there was a subcontractor that installed it.
Correct.
I mean, you know, it's one thing if the material was degrading over time, UV, everything else, but to install it wrong, and then what about the professional liability of an architect that
I don't
oversaw
know
that?
who.
Oh, here it is.
It was later in the 70s, wasn't it? 'Cause I remember Judge Brown coming around, he wanted to put in historic wooden windows,
I don't.
and he wanted to get the downtown.
They roughly. They thought and Paul thought it was mid-70s.
See, I think it's later than
Now, was that all the windows or just some of them?
Does that include putting them all in from the outside?
Yeah. And sill pans and everything else to do them right. Yeah, and it's another 200 and something for this building.
245,000.
These are all done
that.
wrong too? This building's all done
I
wrong?
have not seen the total.
But I mean, these are all installed wrong too?
I have not seen the right for, they have not, they sent me the write-up for that building. They have not sent me the write-up for this building yet, so I'm not gonna,
Not gonna say.
I'm not gonna say what's wrong.
They're not all right.
It's had, when we bought this building,
Mine-
Definitely not the same time.
My understanding, these walkways have been leaking almost since day one, so.
Man, you just keep getting better
I don't
news.
think I want to go after you.
Time to adjourn to the bar.
I'll buy.
Yeah.
Uh,
Fill my coffee
is-
cup up with something else.
They got some pumpkin spice liqueurs. Good, pretty good in there.
Like I said, you've got all the buildings in front of you. I went through, updated them as of today. You can read through them. Capital sheet. It's on there also.
We've made it 40 years with those windows. Can we make it 2 more if we put this on the capital improvements for the 2016 sales tax? Or do you think it's gonna, I mean, like I said, it's been 40 years.
We can
2 more
keep
years.
banding it
Well, that's $1
together.
million, so.
Yeah.
We're only getting less than around 800,000 a year. So that would absolutely mean no project and some carryover from a different, and no projects is kind of impossible to do here.
$800,000 a year.
Yes.
Right.
So you couldn't do it the first year, is what she said.
Right, but we have the receivership money that we could use for that.
I'm talking about the next sales tax.
'Cause there's
round
still
of
what?
Sales tax.
Yeah. that would
Still
be good.
600,000 in receivership.
Yeah,
And
what
she
I
was
was
just
talking about.
telling you you couldn't do it the first.
Actually, there you go, receivership money. That's exactly what that's for, is for the courthouse. So
About 580, 600.
that would make perfect sense using it for the courthouse.
You know, I mean, I mean, that floors me to have to spend that kind of money. But we just spent all this money on resealing it, tuck pointing it, gutters, everything else, and to not do this would just be, I mean, it'd be like opening the windows and saying,
Okay,
Well,
let it rain
okay,
inside.
yeah, let it rain.
One thing you could also look at, Chris, is instead of getting a 1/4 inch pane of glass, you'd be getting a thermal pane glass, which is gonna save you on cooling in the summer, and it's gonna save you heating in the wintertime.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could make any kind of argument you want, but I mean, it's just
Right.
like, you know, we've come this far, you know, we've repaired some of the roof, we put the ice dams on the roof, we've new gutters, I mean,
Correct.
you know, sealing the whole building, I mean, it's just,
You know.
and we're gonna have to, at some point, we're gonna have to do all that outside work and everything else, and
And
so.
you're gonna have to do the HVAC on the
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
it's just,
You know, I don't know what, you know, this be starting my 3rd year in February. I don't know what was done prior, you know. I don't know if any upgrades or any of the stuff was done prior to that, or if these buildings were just put on autopilot. I don't know. Or
Tires, yes, we will.
or if the director before me just didn't know.
well, I don't blame anybody.
I'm not blaming anybody,
I
I'm
don't
just.
blame anybody here, but I mean, I will take a little bit of blame in that general contractor and the architect and everybody that specified all that to not see that those windows were put in incorrect. I mean, that's just, I mean, I blame them. Yeah, I
Yeah.
blame them a lot. I mean, there's, you know, if you couldn't see something, it's one thing, but, you know,
You know, and
somebody knew better.
Yeah, did the former maintenance directors even know how the windows are supposed to be installed?
You would think the
Probably not.
contractor would know how.
Yeah.
those are supposed to be.
Mhm.
I think they just took the cheap and easy way to do it, though. Instead of putting scaffold up all over the place, I think they just did it from the inside.
Because it was too hard to do it from the outside.
Yeah.
Basically, so the pane slid in from the inside, and then they caulked the inside with the rubber strips instead of it being the other way around.
Correct. So that puts your weep holes on the inside, so water does get into it from the outside, it runs inside.
Because they had to have a lift or a crane or something to set up every pane of glass.
Right.
Okay, more good news, Greg.
Sorry, you know,
I have not heard back from the lady about the grant, that there may be some grant money available.
Oh, from
for
Spectrum?
historical buildings. So, this building, I don't think will qualify by any means.
no. Budgets for wages, Mark told me when we started this back in August to come see you guys now.
Yep.
I did send you all the email with the comparable counties I called, as well as what the state, the city, the federal, and some of the other businesses around here are paying. The starting wage is very low compared to what the other places are starting. I know that the auditor has figured a percentage of raise, I think in America, am I correct, in there? I've looked at what the city pays, I looked what the county pay, or the state pays, which is around 13 something an hour. The same information I've given you. Most of my guys are making 10, on an average around 10.48, which, you know, that's about 20-something thousand a year, 22,000 a year roughly. That's, you know, cost of living, everything else, they're having a very hard time making it.
And
They all
ones
have
that
the same
do
type of duties.
Janitorial, do they also do maintenance? I mean,
We do it all.
they-
We do it all.
Okay.
We do janitorial. We do, you know, like I heard Jeff earlier, you know, well, now he knows how to change a light bulb. You know, when I try to hire somebody, I try to hire somebody with, and I'll use, since Jeff is in construction, I would rather hire somebody that knows how to do some finish work as well as framing work. But I would love to get somebody that's, you know, a finisher that knows it all. But realistically, I'll settle for somebody that can do both.
Do all of your maintenance workers have the same responsibilities and duties and stuff? I'm looking at a flow chart. Is there any way they can ever move up or anything, or? is
No,
it- they're
right
all-
now, everything we got now is classified as a maintenance one.
No, but I'm saying, do they have different duties? Do you have one that you specifically call if there's a furnace problem or a plumbing problem or?
Furnace problem, I usually take care of those because most of the guys do not have the little card for for the air conditioning stuff.
Because to me, that's saving us a hell of a lot of money instead of having to call
My guys
a
do.
service call.
My guys are, you know, since
Same with the minor plumbing stuff.
Yeah, we do the minor plumbing and majority in-house. We do a lot of the electrical stuff for light bulbs, ballast, light switches in-house, which most of my guys do. We work on, like I said, the plumbing. We fix 90% of the plumbing unless it's stopped up in the drain lines. We have to call somebody in for an auger to run an auger down through it. As far as HVAC stuff, we change all the filters, we grease the units, we change the belts, we clean the fins. You know, since I've been here, we have taken over a lot more of the responsibilities instead of calling the local repair shop to come in and fix stuff.
Would you be opposed to taking your current staff and calling 2 of them janitorial people and then the rest of them maintenance workers and maybe adjust that way versus?
No,
adjusting
because
all?
they're all, I mean, I can't just say maintenance 1A, all he does is janitorial. It doesn't work because we're out, we all mow grass together, we push snow together. You know, like today, I had to come in because I had an individual that his father passed away. I had to start at 2:30 this morning to clean one building and clean another because I've got a guy on vacation. It's just, I can't just say, oh, you're just a janitor. I can't do that because we don't do that. Now, if maybe going further, I'll say, all right, all I'm gonna hire is a couple janitors to come in 4 o'clock in the afternoon and start cleaning building at the nights. Maybe we could do that, but we do too many other things. Move furniture, move boxes, you know, take stuff out to storage, bring stuff down for people to shred, surplus, make sure that, you know, it's put where it's supposed to be, not just thrown in there like the years past. You know, The staff I have does a great job.
Would you consider any part-time for cleaning only?
I would like to see another person, especially as busy as we're been getting. And, you know, vacation the guys are having to take, people getting sick, especially me, because like Friday I worked 6 hours. Yesterday I worked another 5 on Sunday. I've got it wrote down somewhere, over 1,000 days I've been here now on call, taking 7 days of vacation. It's,
Well, I would think in your org chart, maybe you should be thinking about that.
I'm
having
thinking about-
Somebody just right underneath you. versus
that's what I was,
somebody-
see if maybe, we hire somebody from outside as a supervisor to help me out, to get me away from 24/7s. Because that's pretty well what I've been doing since I've started, is 24/7s, plus the other hours I fill in too.
Hire somebody from outside to be the supervisor.
Well, to hire a supervisor, I
You
don't,
can't promote from within.
that's a,
Where I was getting at when I asked your question.
I'd have to
about
go
it
off the record on that, or turn the mics off, because I'd have to, I don't want to bring anybody's names up or anything else.
Was having an actual flow chart, kind of like we did with Public Works, to where your maintenance one guys, they're sitting there going, oh, I can always aspire to be a maintenance.
But
Like,
here,
there's no maintenance two, there's no supervisor position, there's a director, but
Right.
that's one spot.
I understand what you're saying,
So-
but here is the other situation I've run into already, is when I have tried to take some vacation times in the last year, that's not what I'm hired for. I was hired because I just want to work Monday through Friday. I don't want it. And that's not just one person or 2 people, that's 3 or 4 people now. That's where,
That's fine, then if we have that position and nobody wants to fill it, I guess, is one thing. But if somebody does want to fill it, they know that occasionally they're gonna have to be called in to do a service call at night, some in the morning, or some on the weekend, and it's gonna be reflected in their pay.
And that's
So-
another avenue you could go down, if you're taking and covering for while you're
Mhm.
out or gone. or-
now I already, when,
That's hazard pay.
It's so much more now, unfortunately.
what I do when somebody does cover for me
Said do-do.
is,
Is it getting late? Go ahead, Greg, I'm sorry.
well, I don't know if,
Go ahead.
it's all right. I don't want to step on, is I do pay them for when they come in and work, okay? And if they come in on a Saturday for 2 hours, I give them comp time for 2 hours or pay for 2 hours, whatever they want. It's not like they're just working for free,
Sure.
so. Now, would I like to do more? Yes, I would like to do more for when they cover, because they're taking on a lot more responsibility.
I mean, I definitely think that you need a supervisor or somebody in that position, and maybe you rotate being on call, and maybe it's you and another person, or maybe it's you and 2 or 3 other people. I mean, there's no reason that you should be here all the time, taking all the calls.
Do you have any open positions right
No.
now?
I'm
I
full.
think when you get the next open one, we need to change it up. Unless one, it doesn't sound to me like any of them that are working right now really would be even applying for a supervisor position.
I don't think they
Could
want
be
the
wrong.
responsibility.
Yeah, and that's fine. Hey, they're chiefs. Indians. They're excellent Indians. They come in, they let you be
And like
the
I
chief.
said, they do a great job. I have no complaints. They do a
So,
great job.
If they don't wanna do it, then that's fine. We can look outside and I'm not gonna make a position, another position, because I think we've got enough people working, right?
There's
You're
some
not
times,
saying that, are you?
there's some times I'd like to see another full-time, where he just gets, between the vacations. I've got guys, anything over 240 by the end of the year, they've got to use or they lose. I've got guys scheduled this whole month, taking time off.
Yeah, we run into the same thing with Road and Bridge. And right now is the worst time because now's when they want off and they may still get called in because we may get snow.
Yeah.
Deer
but-
season, they wanna take off. Hey, guess what? We got 3 inches of snow in the forecast, so.
I understand that.
So we run into that with them too.
You know, it's just, it's a little tougher with 7 people total in your department, try to cover all 9 buildings.
It seems like maybe a part-time would help cover the vacation instead of start out.
Yeah,
Well, we talked about hiring some cleaning out.
that's
Cleaning
20-something.
services.
For one, that's $20-something thousand.
Yeah.
But I think there wasn't any reasons that you didn't like that or some, we didn't do it for some reason back when we talked about it. We can
Well-
revisit it, cause I don't know, did we ever talk about that with you up here, Chris? Okay, so it has been in the last 2 years. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, it's been within the last 6 months. So, you know, it's just.
Oh, that's that bid that we had on our
Yeah.
desk? That was from that?
Mhm.
Oh, whatever happened with that?
We hired somebody and,
We were having trouble with people staying, and so we looked into this.
Oh, to see what it would.
And the cost of this was definitely more expensive than even the benefits we were paying full-time people. And then, they were alluding to more hours at certain locations. And it was the cost. And you guys, and then the security of having people that we don't hire in our buildings. And then they could change with that company, and we would not know who they are, kind of thing, so. We looked at it several times, and the time to do it was when we were like that, we were 2 people short. We were really considering doing that, you know, but it came down to the money too. So,
Sorry I was late. That's what
Sure.
I missed.
no,
No answers to questions?
Nothing major.
do you remember the other-
Missed $775,000 to redo all the windows on the courthouse.
No, I saw that when it came by email.
sorry, pass them along as I get them. So,
That's awful.
and I'm still waiting on a letter for this building, what they found with these windows when we were going around taking stuff apart, so. You got the letter for the courthouse.
Saw that.
You gonna do yours before lunch, Kristen?
No, I can do it after.
Let's do it now while we're here.
I mean, that's what I was just saying, we got 10 minutes till our noon break if you wanna
Nope,
do it.
I'm ready if you're ready.
Okay, wait, one more.
Greg, were you done, I guess, first?
Greg, on your capital here, we're still talking about the annex, the painting, the carpeting, and then all of your other things that were down here below.
Yeah, whatever we can do next year would be great, you know, whether we repair the sidewalks and the handrails, the lighting outside.
Step forward.
Whatever we
Steps
can do. I know that,
I mean, I would suggest one thing to look at is potentially the sidewalks and the handrails, because that's a safety hazard externally.
right,
And there've been a marked increase in numbers of lawsuits around the state for slips and falls in front of courthouses.
I don't know why ours are the worst sidewalks downtown. They were put in at the same time with the same people.
That I can't tell you. I mean, they just pitted out something terrible and they're falling apart. And that's the main sidewalk. Then you
Yeah.
get up to the sidewalk around the courthouse, and it's even worse.
Yeah.
I understand the city, did I understand the city guy the other day was, they were talking about redoing their sidewalks downtown in their next couple of years?
I hadn't heard
I
that.
heard that.
Oh,
No, I think they were talking about overlaying and they were talking about the crosswalks.
Oh, yeah, they
the
do that.
sidewalks.
Yeah,
I mean, we may-
I didn't
These
know anything about
sidewalks,
that.
they're gonna be like this long after I'm gone.
Maybe it was a crosswalk, was it where it's.
But I can't tell you why they're just falling apart right out in front of us. And
There's-
right across the
Yeah.
street,
I don't
it's
know.
fine.
Yeah, we've got,
were they poured early winter, late, early
Well,
spring?
they're all poured at the same time.
this block was the first block, and then they worked their way west.
I don't know whether cold weather got to them. I
But
don't know
the-
when they started, so.
They're not as bad if you walk towards the library.
Now, I know we're supposed to use certain chemicals.
That may
Or
be
you're
a
not
problem.
supposed to use.
That may be a problem.
Yeah, you're not supposed to, that's why we, parking, the city actually now, takes care of our sidewalks as far as cleaning them, putting down the chemicals you might see.
I think I'm using, the friendly stuff for grass and everything else, so that can't be no worse than what they're putting down. So,
That's the only thing I don't understand.
All right then.
now if I was dumping 100%.
That's just something I would suggest you guys look at is the sidewalks potentially or something that may need to be fixed just because of the trip and fall hazards starting to get to be fairly significant.
Yeah, and I think we need to start doing some of that stuff, and then we need to start rat holing some money each year for these projects that are gonna, they're probably all gonna break at the same time. And so when it happens, we just need to be ready for it. Some of them, I mean, you don't wanna replace it, you don't have to, but.
Well,
just
we
gotta
get
be
rid of
ready.
a lot of them if we just move.
We
I'm
still
all-
have other problems then.
I don't know.
I didn't say we got rid of all of them. I said we get rid of a lot of them. We might have new ones where
We get rid of some of the stuff off the list, don't we?
You could. Truly could.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you. If you all need anything, I'm going home.
all right,
All right.
feel better.
Yeah, feel better.
I can hear it. Stay away from me, man.
Hey, not better.
99.9 Friday.
Stay away.
Yeah, go away.
No one of us want it.
And
Go.
penicillin is great.
Go. All right, Kristen.
Okay,
What page are you on?
I am 27.
You don't look like Jim.
No.
It
What,
says
what
Jim.
could you possibly want that you didn't give yourself?
I'm actually here to save you money. I am taking my
Ooh.
bond money out because I paid it this year instead of next year, and I paid it for 4 years, so no money in that line. The only thing I wanted to explain was my office equipment furniture. I want some new chairs upstairs after the carpet. No spit chair would be wonderful.
What are you doing, Eric?
Yeah.
I haven't even had a new chair yet.
You can have mine. Oh, wait a second. Sorry, Sam.
Hey, I will give you mine. I will give you Jim's. How about that?
Actually, that's what I should have done, is I should have took Wrigley's and put it in my office and gave it to Jefferson.
Then I would have got a new one.
I still got
Yeah.
that same ugly green one. I'm like, oh.
And the only other thing is to explain office supplies. I put a little extra in there. You have to realize that Jim's office has nothing in it at the moment, like maybe a stapler, no adding machine, no anything. So it might take me a little bit to get it to be usable.
Hey,
But
you
I
wanted
don't-
that office.
Yeah.
You know, it
I
kind of
don't
comes.
hope to need that much next year. It's just a
I got a
one-time to get
stapler I'll
me.
loan you. I got
So you're telling me that what I just heard was you're actually costing us more money.
Real.
You saved us 500. You saved us 500.
The difference is 5 and 3, and I'm still saving you 2.
Except for the $2,500 for chairs.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Oh, are we down here for this?
Convenient overlook.
And then you want paint and carpet too.
There's
Yeah, I mean, gee,
I know.
Man, I want paint, carpet, and a new chair too.
I'll trade you offices. How about
maybe in a different
Sure,
Maybe-
sure.
maybe in a different location.
Yeah, yeah.
We need to hurry up and get our offices painted if they're gonna do that, because I'm gonna have another deer head paint. And if I catch that
Okay.
bobcat I have on the camera, I'm gonna have another, I'll have a cat to put on the wall. And those are pretty big.
Are you seeing chairs?
And there's a fox
I
and a
didn't
coyote
get
too.
any
We can get
estimates.
both.
There's actually 2 office
You got
chairs
back early.
For,
I did?
Like, around the table.
You're all taken care of?
I was
Yeah.
gonna do
Well, my conference call.
They're all this bright green and they're faded and nasty. And if you put one new one in the mix, it's gonna look.
Figured you guys be done already.
Yeah.
But I figured, no, I'm gonna stick my head in.
All right.
Marvin's not coming, is he?
No, Marvin would like to reschedule another time, so I told her the actual dates at your meeting, so I didn't think that would be a problem for you guys.
How's Marvin doing? Any better?
He's home, I understand. He's going back to the doctor today.
I heard he was home too. Did you see me?
For a procedure.
Yeah.
He had some bleeding
They already
at his
signed it.
stent
Oh, really?
site or
I
something.
want to hand carry those over to make sure that she.
Pantera.
Yeah,
Makes
it
sense.
actually
That's not
makes
supposed to be
sense.
in the minutes.
Yeah, you're supposed to have just some kind of
Oh.
surgery.
When we vote in
and
closed
I
session,
think
we
it-
don't go in the minutes.
I think it got a little scary there for a little while for.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys want to break for lunch, I'll call these people and then we'll get them going and have them sitting out here ready, hopefully, if they will accommodate.
Works for me.
We really have only scratched 2 off the list, so
Who'd we scratch off? I got Jim.
Jim and then Marvin down.
Oh yeah, Marvin. Okay.
See if Donnie wants to come up, start working backwards and.
Yeah, I don't
Just
need.
finish at
I mean,
3:30.
I'm ready to go whenever you guys are. You tell me how long you all need to take.
Sam? How long you need? Are you
I was
here all
gonna say
day
they're
or?
probably at
Well, here I
lunchtime.
need to go make a couple phone calls, but I mean, I can be back here.
Let's just go at 1.
Go one.
I'll be back here.
See if you can line somebody up for one.
Yeah, see if Donnie.
Donnie would be great because then we get him out of the way.
I do have to go, get rid of some coffee. Hold me and get.
Anything interesting come out of Eric, Marilyn, Holly?
Eric wants to revisit the pay for Penny, and we did talk about that like 2 or 3 years ago again, and
Eric's on the phone.
never did
He's wanting to-
much with it.
What about anything else on Public Works? Decided to walk out on that one.
They're wanting to basically not have maintenance one workers, or have maintenance one, that's what they hire them in at, and then after a
Right.
year, take them all to operator one.
Isn't that what we approved by making those adjustments?
I don't know, I still would rather have maintenance one, and if they, learn how to do all this driving and stuff, and they're sitting in line for the next.
This Mark.
So.
Hi Travis, how
All
are you?
right, see you, Sammy.
Quiet, except for a nice Mizzou game.
I guess we need to stand in recess. Alright, we can just get up and leave.
Yeah.
You get a lunch.